concept which I have continued with the same chapter, National Income Accounting, as you know, according to the blueprint, especially this year, pandemic year, at the same time if it is not pandemic year also. This chapter, according to the blueprint, the content wise it is more. So more than 25 to 30 marks you will be getting from this chapter, so you better to observe it. The topic what I have today, that is some macroeconomic identities. Whenever we talk about national income accounting, we've already always described what is national income, what is GDP. But so many concepts we have in the national income, which is even called as macroeconomic identities. So we're going to talk about some of the related concepts of national income today. The first concept, let me begin with the GDP, which is a famous one, which is gross domestic product. GDP is gross domestic product. That means whatever goods and services we are producing within 1 year of time duration within the country, that's called GDP, gross domestic product. How are we going to find out? In the previous class of mine, through expenditure method, I just came to the formula C plus I plus G X minus M. C is the consumption, investment, government consumption and investment, exports minus imports. So this is one of the easiest method of finding out GDP. The GDP, whatever goods and services we have produced within 1 year time duration within the country, that will be calculated through GDP. After GDP, we have a concept which is GNP. So many times we think that the people who belongs to India, who are having a card of India, citizens of India, they are in different country, whatever goods and services they are producing, whether it is calculated to national income or not calculated to national income, whether we should count that or not. So that kind of a lot of time we had a dilemma, so finally we counted that as GNP, gross national product. What is gross national product and how we going to find out? The gross national product, the simple formula of it, GDP plus net factor income from abroad. Net factor from abroad. What it means? So many Indians, they are working in other countries like abroad. They are working in US, they are working in Germany, they are working in Japan, but they are Indians. Their income should be calculated because they are Indians. So many other country citizens, they are working in India. They are not Indians, but their income is calculated to GDP because that goods are produced within the country. So for that reason, what we are doing is, we are coming with bringing one simple formula, that is net factor income from abroad. What it means? Factor income earned by domestic factors of production employed in rest of the world. That means the Indians who are in the other country, but they are Indians, they are citizens of India. What they are producing in other country, that should be counted. That should be subtracted with factor income earned by factors of production employed in rest of the world, employed in domestic economy. That means so many other countries' people, they are working, they are employed in our country by using our factors of production, that should be subtracted. Indians working out of the country, other countries' people working in our country. The both should be subtracted. If we're going to subtract that, then we're going to get net factor income from the abroad. So that will be called gross national product. That means we are finding out actual basic Indians' capacity here. Even though they are in some different cities, different countries, what is their capacity is all about how much they are able to produce, that will be calculated through this. On the other side, so one side I said it is only the capacity of India within the country, how much we are producing. This one, it is a capacity of only Indians. And the next concept what you have, that is NNP, that is GNP minus depreciation. So whenever you're going to produce any of the goods and services, it is for sure you're going to use capital goods. Without using the capital goods, it is impossible to convert input into output. Whenever we use any capital goods, it is for sure it is going to lose its value each and every year, isn't it? For example, if you are using any kind of two-wheeler or any machineries, one by one other years, it is going to lose its price and value. That is called depreciation. Wear and tear of any capital goods, that will be counted as a depreciation. So in this situation, GNP minus depreciation. So GNP, what we have calculated, from that, if you are going to subtract the value of the capital goods each and every year which is removed, that will be called depreciation. So after the depreciation, you have here GNP MP. We have NNP MP, which is net national product with market price. Whenever we calculate national income, especially net national product with MP, MP is a market price. Market price is nothing but, in this one, all the indirect taxes are included. Whenever we are going to calculate market prices, you are aware of every time whatever goods and services we have produced, all the goods and services, it will be taxed. If you are going to count the tax also, that will be called as net national product with the market prices. That means all net national product which is taxed, indirect taxes are included, that will be called net national product, which is MP market prices. So then you have NNPFC, net national product factor cost. Net national product factor cost. In this one, what we are going to do is, we are not going to include the indirect taxes. Whenever it comes to market price, all goods and services, when it will be calculated as a national income, indirect taxes already included. Now, indirect taxes directly it is going to government only. So, we thought of not calculating indirect taxes here, but government, so many other facilities are given as a subsidies. For the farms, for the industries, for the agriculture sector, so many other areas, government is going to provide subsidies, and directly it is going to take the indirect taxes. So indirect taxes are not counted and subsidies are counted in this topic. So that's called net national product factor cost. Net national product market prices minus net indirect taxes. Net indirect taxes is nothing but the indirect taxes which is imposed on goods and services, that will be subtracted by the subsidies which is given by the government. It can be for the household, it can be for the firms, for any other activity subsidies are given. If you are going to subtract indirect taxes minus subsidies, indirect taxes which will be collected directly by government minus subsidies which is given by government to the other people, if you are going to subtract that, that will be called net indirect tax. From NNPMP to get NNPFC, the simple formula is NNPMP minus net indirect taxes. That means all the indirect taxes should be subtracted by the subsidies which is given by the government. And the next concept, NNPFC, even it is called as national income. So till now, I have never mentioned national income. So continuously in every concepts we talk about GDP, not about national income. National income is nothing but NNPFC. So I have given here, this is but nothing but national income also. The next concept you have here, that is personal income. What is personal income? The national income will be divided, allocated to people as a personal income. The income what I am getting after working, that will be called as personal income. The personal income definitely differs from one person to other person. It is your own capability, how much you are able to work, how much you are able to earn, how much share you are going to get in the GDP. It's all your own capacity. So to get this, what formula we are going to use it? To get a personal income from the national income, you have to subtract undistributed profits. What is undistributed profit? Undistributed profit where so many corporate sectors, when they are going to earn profit, they are not going to share that with any individual, any households. The income which doesn't belong to household, that will be called undistributed profit. For an example, if I am a corporate sector, I am giving wages, but so many profits which I have got, I am not giving that to anybody else. So then that will be called undistributed profit, yeah, undistributed income. Undistributed profit which is not included in the personal income, that should be subtracted. Minus net interest payments made by the household. Net interest payments made by the household, what it means actually. If I'm a household, if I have a surplus money, I love to give that as a loan. It can be for a government, it can be any private sector. For that, I'll be collecting interest. The same way, government, if they have a surplus money, they're going to give loan to household, they're going to collect an interest rate. The both will be subtracted with each other. Money which I have given and I'm collecting interest, government which they have given money and they're collecting interest, both should be subtracted with each other. That will be called as net interest payments made by the household. The interest which I'm collecting, the interest which I'm giving to government, the both should be subtracted. That will be called as net interest payments made by the household. Minus corporate tax. The corporate tax, whatever the profit they are sharing, for that compulsory they have to pay taxes to the government. Even that should be deducted from a personal income because it doesn't belong to consumer, it doesn't belong to any of the household. On the last one, transfer payments. Transfer payments to the household from the government or anybody else. So what is transfer payment? Transfer payment is always one-sided. What is transfer payment is all about? That means if I'm not working anything also, government or anybody else is going to give me sort of help financially, that will be called as transfer payment. For example, I am a patient, I am sick, I have a polio or something like this. For this, government is going to pay me some kind of allocation of income, financial help. So pension, any kind of a provident fund, any kind of transfer payments like financial help, which will be given by a government or any private sector, which is only one-sided. I am not working, but still I am getting income. That one-sided payment transaction, it will be called as transfer payments. So by doing this, I am going to get the personal income, national income minus undistributed profit minus interest payments made by the households minus corporate tax, but plus transfer payments. Why we are going to add transfer payments? Because that belongs to household. All these terms which is subtracted here by minus symbol, that is doesn't belong to household, directly it's going to be included in the national income already. So that's why we are going to subtract that from the personal income. This is the only income which will be added here. So on the other side, the last concept what we have, that is PDI, personal disposable income. What is personal disposable income? When I'm going to get income, the income what I have, can I spend this all income on my any of the things? No, it is not possible. Whenever I am going to get income out of it, I have to pay taxes, I have to pay fees, so many other things I have to pay to government. If I am going to deduct that, exactly the money which is kept for only my consumption, that will be called as personal disposable income. So let me go with the formula. Personal disposable income is equal to personal income, which we got it here. The personal income minus personal tax payments. If I am getting income, for that I have to pay taxes to the government, that I have to subtract from the personal income minus. So non-tax payments like fees or any other things are compulsory I have to pay, which will be reaching government, even that should be subtracted. The left money which I can consume or otherwise I can save, that will be called personal disposable income. Even though I am getting income, if I am getting 100 rupees of income, all 100 rupees I cannot use it for my own wish. So some of the percentage part of it, I have to pay to government as a fees, as a taxes, even that should be deducted from the personal income. If I am deducting exclusively the money I am going to spend by my wish, as a saving, as a consumption, that will be called as personal disposable income. These are all including it will be called as some macroeconomic identities. So you have to practice better formula. So I hope you understood this. Any Otherwise, you can ask me doubts. Thank you so much, guys. I'll meet you with the next video. Thank you.